Welcome back to Global Cambridge News. How are you? I'm fine. Thank you for asking. £5,000 worth of flowers is going to waste in what's been dubbed a bereavement ceremony by its organiser. So sort of like a public funeral for flowers. I don't know what you bring to a funeral for flowers. Small flowers? Bodies? I don't know. Phil Graves, the Girton florist, was given a last-minute notice by the council that his store wouldn't be deemed essential and as such wouldn't be allowed to reopen. I can't sell the flowers anywhere else or sell them to wholesalers because I don't have the necessary licenses. And from Phil's point of view, I totally get it. It's a bummer. You know, this guy ordered enough flowers to last him through Easter and now can't make any of his money back off of it. So I've invited councillors and officers to come to my bereavement ceremony in the market square where they can watch me put all of my flowers and plants into the rubbish compactor there. I can't speak for Phil's lot, but in our family, we usually just bury people. I think funerals on a whole would be a lot harder if I had to watch loved ones go into like a rubbish compactor. Councillor Rosie Moore hit back by saying that the selling of flowers was once deemed essential, but then they realised it actually wasn't. I think the thing that most traders are actually upset about here is, the lack of communication between the council and the market. And it isn't the first time. I'm sure we all remember back in January when the market closed, Cambridge News reported that traders weren't actually given much notice and weren't consulted on the thing. They spoke to meat trader Angelica von Heimdall, who said that by the time she found out that they would be closing, she already had a bunch of meat ready to be sold. I mean, what's she meant to do with that? That's a way messier public bereavement ceremony, As a big fan of the Cambridge market, you can check out my video on it here. It sucked to see local traders treated this way. But I can also be the first to admit that there really wasn't much social distancing happening there at all. But then what do? Bring in more social distancing officers with the vests and stuff? Because I don't know, I saw those guys breaking the rules all the time. You either die a Chad or live long enough to become a Karen. But I want to hear from you. What do you think about it? Are the traders just being whiny? Or is it kind of messed up that they weren't really consulted on this? Was it maybe a bad idea to invest in £5,000 worth of flowers when the future was this uncertain? Actually, I truly don't know. I can't visualize what £5,000 worth of flowers looks like. In fact, I just got out of my overdraft maybe last week. And guess what? I forgot to cancel my free trial of Skillshare, so I'm straight back in there. If anyone from Skillshare is watching this, hit me up, sponsor me. I'll do it. I just want to get big enough to sell out. Is one of your favourite things about living in Cambridgeshire and Peterborough how you're not flooded? Well, buckle up, boy, because have I got news for you. The Cambridgeshire and Peterborough Independent Commission on Climate Change finds that the area's greenhouse gas emissions are 25% higher per person than the UK average, putting us at risk of flooding, heat waves, and water shortages. I mean, I would have thought that the flooding and the water shortages would cancel each other out, but okay. The stat that I find insane is that we will have exhausted our fair share of emissions to 2050 in just the next 6 years unless we change stuff up. As someone not only in his financial overdraft but a karmic one too, I'd really appreciate not having to also be in an ecological one. I have enough bad energy coming my way that I will 100% be the first to drown. The report estimates that we would need to invest about £700 million a year, which sounds like a lot, but it's totally doable. The Cambridge Independent reports that the main source of emissions in the region is from transport, excluding flights, accounting for 44% of our greenhouse gases. But recent plans for Cambridge's autonomous Black Mirror style, like in Metro, could change that. As someone who has to digest a lot of Cambridge news, I can assure you that just about every other article is about Cambridge's transportation investment. So, it can happen. But what can we as individuals do? I mean, me, personally, I've got a series of petrol generators running out the back, powering fans that'll hopefully cool down the whole neighborhood. It's not much, but I like to do my part. And now with some fun news that is maybe less news and more just, I'm going over a dumb article from Cambridge News. That's rad. It's Cambridgeshire UFO signs, baby. Yeehaw! Imagine this, October 22nd, 2013, 1 year after the supposed end of the world. A couple sat in their garden when a light, a very bright white light, heading southwest. It stops, hovers for about 5 to 10 seconds before slowly moving away and disappearing completely. Oh, what's that? You're not sold on aliens yet? But what about this one? Ely, 2012, the year of the end of the world. And Mr. Saunders is driving home when he sees a large, black, cube-like shape, possibly a cube, hovering in the sky. Now I know what you're thinking. Hot air balloon. Wrong! There was no basket and no ropes. Your move, alien atheists. Aliests. Obviously there haven't been that many sightings recently because of lockdown, but when we get out of this, who knows? A 2020 YouGov poll found that 19% of Brits possibly believe, lean toward believing that aliens could walk among us, while 65% think maybe not, but 16% are on the fence about it. 16% of Brits surveyed believe that aliens might walk among us. They're like on the fence. Like they don't want to say they flat out don't exist, while also saying they don't want to admit that they might walk among us. Like they see someone on their day and think, I can't say for sure that they're not from Earth, but I also don't want to say they're an alien in case that makes me look like weird. This one's for real. Do you guys believe in aliens? Let me know in the comments down below. I'm still trying to figure it out. I mean, probably I feel like I'm leaning towards no, but also there's too much space for them to not exist, right? That just seems like a stats thing. Let me know in the comments down below. I read them all. Even the one from last week that said like Oatly was trash. I see you. If you made it this far, well done. Thank you. I'm proud of you. Go follow our socials at Unwrapped on Facebook and Twitter, and at cambridgeunwrapped on Instagram. And I'm at Hugo Barman on Instagram. Barman spelled B-A-H-M-A-N, like Batman with a H. Also, go check out my report on the future of UK gigs. It will be the last video on the channel. I'll put it in the description, but also just click through and you'll find it. It's really good. It's genuinely, like, they're all good, but like this one was like, you know, actually good. I got to speak to some incredibly talented musicians and an independent venue owner about how they feel about lockdown and what they hope live music will be like coming out of it. It's genuinely very interesting. As always, send in your news to cambridgeunwrapped@gmail.com, or, you know, just hit me up. Let me know how your day's going. That could be fun. Dialogue is good. The algorithm rewards engagement, so boost me. Until next time, this is where I love you and leave you, Cambridge and the greater Cambridgeshire area. Peace.